This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friend Sara and I gorge ourselves on overanalyzing what's happening in the world of video games and entertainment.
That's an incredibly succinct intro. The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month you get access to not one, but two podcasts. $5 gets you Takeout, our monthly commentary track where Ben and I watch things and talk over it. This last one we did was Resident Evil Degeneration, which is sure a movie from 2012. It is sure a CG movie from 2012.
It certainly had Resident Evil characters in it.
It absolutely did. And if that's too rich for your blood, $2 gets you That's Hell You're Walking Into, a podcast where Ben and I, mostly we're just getting ready to farm for Guildfest. Really, it's like 2 days away as of this recording.
Yeah, we've just been kind of like, spinning our wheels.
But now we got a whole bunch of hot new sexy servants from Summer 4, and it's time to level them. If you haven't gathered yet, That's How You're Walking Into is a podcast where Ben asks me questions about the Nasuverse. Sometimes Kingdom Hearts is there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it isn't. It's fine. That's just $2. So it's always fun. We have great Patreon exclusive content. So head on over to patreon.com/thegorge. Kick in however much you feel you want to put. And we appreciate everybody who gives us money to keep this perpetual motion machine of suffering going. Yeah, it's crazy that people pay us to talk about things, but I love it. We love all of you. Thank you.
Thank you to Steel Condor, Nihar Bahat, Red Lantern Reviews, Holy Star 64, Neon Hellcat, Patrick Perez, Roddy 1/2, Toby 27, Saturn, Alice Marks, Shia, Otzi, Magus, Aquamancer, Jack, Liam Lane, and that other one dude.
Thank you all. We love you. So, that being said, let's get into the roundup.
Yes.
It's been a kind of quiet month for me. I've mostly just been watching Star Trek. I've watched a lot of the next. I am on season 7, which is the last season, and I am on episode 22 out of 26 of the last season.
So what's after that?
Deep Space Nine. After that is Deep Space Nine.
Okay, but like, what about like movie wise? Are you gonna go into any of those?
Yes, I am gonna do the movies. I actually don't know the order that the movies go in, but I am gonna do the movies. I think there are 3 of them, so I'm gonna do those to wrap it all up. Then I'll go to Deep Space Nine, and then Voyager. I'm probably not gonna fool with Enterprise because everybody says it's really bad.
Is that the new one?
No, that's Discovery.
Okay.
Enterprise is the one that came out, I think, in like the mid 2000s, and I've never heard anybody say anything good about it. So I'll probably pass on that one. But I mean, like, between Deep Space Nine and the movies and Voyager, I still have a whole hell of a lot of Star Trek to consume. So we can keep this perpetual motion machine going, baby. I can just keep watching fucking space TV shows forever.
So then once you finish all that, is it what Battlestar Galactica is next?
No. If I really wanted to keep going on like the 90s sci-fi thing, I would probably do Babylon 5 or Farscape. Babylon 5 is the one that has Bruce Boxleitner as the protagonist. If you don't know, Bruce Boxleitner plays Tron. So this was like his other big role he did. And I've heard a lot of people say Babylon 5 is really good. My art director and my other best friend, the other Sara in my life, they both are big Farscape people, so I might give that a shot, As we go down the Sci-Fi Channel list of TV shows that played after school in the 90s, we increasingly lose budget.
Yes, it's a diminishing returns.
I could do Stargate SG-1. I actually watched a lot of SG-1 when I was in high school because I would come home from school, and immediately after school, it would be the X-Files and Battlestar, or not Battlestar, sorry, Stargate SG-1, they would play back to back. And so I would just watch both of those. And so I actually have seen a decent amount of SG-1, but I haven't seen all of it. And I really like SG-1. SG-1 is blatantly propaganda for the United States Air Force.
All right.
But it also has, like, a very charming... Because, like, everybody is in the Air Force, and so, like, you know, it's like, yeah, we're so cool, we're in the Air Force. But, like, the characters are all really likable, and I think I've complained before on this show that, like, Worf is just, like, a proto-Teal'c from SG-1, because they're both, like, proud, stern, warrior-type characters, except I like Teal'c a whole lot more than I like Worf. Although Worf has grown on me, I will say. Worf has definitely grown on me as I've watched more The Next Generation, but, like, everybody has grown on me, because... everybody in TNG has, like, amazing chemistry. Like, even when the writing is really bad. And there have been a few episodes that have just been awful. Like, there actually have been a handful of episodes that I've outright skipped. Because, like, within the first 10 minutes, I start it. And then I'll message, like, so, like, Big Gay Nerds, right? We obviously have our own Discord for recording and stuff. And sometimes I'll hit a really bad episode, and I'll message them and be like, yo, this sucks. And then inevitably Owen will be like, oh yeah, me and Levi skipped that one. I'm like, hey, I'm skipping it then. Like, yo, this episode sucks.
Like, you don't want to get the thing where it's like, no, wait until the last 5 minutes. It gets really, really good and it pays off.
Yeah, no. And I mean, there have been a couple episodes where it's just been, like, bad, but I soldiered through it anyways, because I'm just like, listen, this is gonna be over eventually, so I want it to last. You know?
Yeah.
So I will sit through the bad ones in order to get a little bit more mileage out of The Next Generation.
It's like when you're playing a game you really like and you just kind of like dawdle because you don't want it to end and you're afraid to make progress.
You're like, I will go do all of the bonus content, even if I think this bonus content sucks ass. I will go gamble in the casino in Tales of the Abyss as much as possible, even if I hate the casino, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's those vibes. But yeah, I mean, I really like it. I have thoroughly enjoyed all the characters. And yeah, I think it's great. It's old utopian sci-fi at its most utopian, and I like it. I really do. There's like a lot of good stuff going on in it, even when it's bad. And yeah, I'm not ready for it to be over. I feel like these last 4 episodes are gonna take forever to watch because I'm just gonna do one a night to make it last a little longer. So yeah, and then what else have I been doing? Did we talk about me reading Windblade? Have we talked about that?
No, I don't think so.
I read Windblade. I like it. I mean, obviously, I think Sarah Stone's art is really good. So,
did you read Windblade or did you read Windblade until All Are One?
I have not reached Till All Are One yet.
Okay.
I read all of X-Rid until it diverged at Dark Cybertron. And then I think I still have like one more volume of Windblade, but like I think the artist changes.
Yes.
Maybe I'm crazy. Oh, it does? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I finished the first 2 volumes of Windblade and I really liked it. And then the artist changed. And I'm like,
yeah, you really do lose a lot of atmosphere when it's not Sarah Stone's artwork.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's fine. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to the writing that much in Windblade. I really was not. I was mostly just looking at the pretty pictures and like would have to go back and read the same page like 4 times to know what actually was going on. More than meets the eye, this is not. No, not at all. Not at all. I have heard Till All Are One is really good though.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay. So I'm looking for. I just gotta get finished through Windblade and do that. It's like I'm realizing how much comic I have to read. like how much it's like, well, I want to read this, and then someone's like, well, you should also read this. So it's like everybody says to read Autocracy and to read Chaos Theory and Megatron Origins. Like those are three that
you don't need to read Megatron Origins.
Oh, is it not good?
It's all right.
But it's not good? Damn.
It's not the quality of Megatron that More Than Meets the Eye has.
Sure, but I mean, people have talked about it, and it's like,
I'm
gonna be in.
It's worth reading just so that you can get context for, like, Megatron's backstory and, like, to get facts about him.
Sure.
But I read all 4 issues, and I did not particularly enjoy it.
Oh, good. Okay, that'll be fun. And then, of course, I want to read the Wreckers saga.
Of course, yeah.
Last Stand of the Records and Sins of the Wreckers.
Yeah.
So those are all on the list. That's kind of what I'm working my way through. And then, this is a thing you and I actually can talk about because we're both doing it at the same time. I read the first issue of Shattered Glass.
Shattered Glass is really good!
It was really good. I joked about it on Twitter, but I'm going to joke about it here too. I don't know how Western Comics fans live.
We don't.
20 okay.
See, it was different back in the 50s when we didn't have anything else to do.
Sure.
And, like, it was okay to wait for a month for things because you didn't have TV or anything back then.
Right.
So you just kind of existed in this ennui until, like, the next issue of something came out.
Right. Yeah, you get 20 pages a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough. And, like, I knew you got 20 pages a month because, like, I know how comics work, but I have not read an ongoing, possibly ever. This may very well be the first, like, ongoing thing I have ever read. Like, I got into Ultimate Spider-Man when it first launched, but when I say it first launched, I mean, like, the first of the trade paperbacks that came out. Like, so, I mean, like, that's still pretty early in the like, the getting on board, and then it lost me. But, like, and that was long. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was long. 2000.
Yeah, you could date how old I am. I'm not telling you that. But you could date how old I am based on, like, when I started reading Ultimate Spider-Man. But, like, yeah, I don't think I've never read an ongoing before. So, like, I always have, like, a lot of comics to read when I do decide to read a comic book. And, like, it's like, oh no, I don't want to wait.
Now you know what it's like.
I don't like it.
Now imagine multiplying it by, like, on average maybe 5 or 7.
But, like, it's almost better that way, right? Because, like, if you have, like, one issue coming out a week of something you read, then at least you're getting something every week, right?
No, because a lot of like, if it's all Marvel, like, the headliners tend to come out the same week.
Oh, so you just burn through everything in a week, and then okay.
Yeah, and that's why, and then, like the smaller stuff comes out on other weeks, but, like, your Spider-Man and your Avengers and your X-Men are all going to come out the same week. Because, they want you to go to the comic book store on one day because you're more incentivized to get everything then.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So you don't have to just keep going back to the comic book store. You just buy everything on the same day. Yeah. Oh, no!
Yeah.
Wow.
And a month is the perfect amount of time to forget what's been happening.
It is. Actually, that is very true.
Yeah.
30 days is the exact... If it was even slightly shorter, you'd still be able to remember what's going on. But now it's like, nope, I have no idea.
This is the big reason why I've been really drifting away from Marvel, except for, like, Amazing Spider-Man, and have been focusing a lot of more of my attention on IDW.
Well, yeah,
'Cause
I mean, that vibes.
It's a lot less to keep track of. And
There is a lot less to keep track of in IDW, like IDW 2, even though, like, I haven't really heard anybody say anything good about IDW 2.
Oh, I just mean, like, their other stuff, too. Like,
yeah, of course.
They do because King Grimlock is coming out, and Shattered Glass is coming out, and then I still read Sonic the Hedgehog, and I need to get back into reading TMNT.
Okay.
And it's just easy, because
it's all just one book.
Yeah.
It's just one book, and that one book comes out once a month, and then you just have to live with it. But still, it's just the one book. Like, I will say that reading, like, trying to read IDW 1, like, for Transformers, I get why they rebooted it. Like, obviously, partly because, like, the story, like, they were, like, trying to wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the way I understand it is that IDW 2 is just like, no, you just need to read the one thing.
Yeah.
And it's just called the Transformers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but then with fucking, IDW 1, it's like, well, it's not numbered like that. It's just a bunch of...
Yeah, because
you can read Autocracy and Chaos Theory and Last Stand of the Wreckers, and it's like, where does all of this fit in, like, a generalized timeline? Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It will make you insane otherwise.
They weren't planning on a big conjoined universe back then. They were just like, bunch of miniseries because we got this toy license.
Right. Well, so, like, I get the appeal of it, although, I've heard the problems with it, but,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so, like, we went off on a tangent there. Shattered Glass is good.
It's really good.
First issue, I really liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was very, like, little neatly told little story.
It's very intense.
Yeah, it's very Fallout core for a Transformers story, like, or very Mad Max core as well.
I'm a big fan of any post-apocalyptic setting where there's like 3 towns, and like they're all
like a
ruled,
big wasteland in the middle of them.
And they're all ruled by like one guy, and like that guy like makes his whole aesthetic on the town.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it is very Mad Max core in that way. So I think that's cool. I'm looking forward to more. And then that's it. Have I played anything of note?
Well, we played Resident Evil 6.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, we can talk about that but we didn't play for too long, and we need to get back to it.
Yes,
but
we do.
We did play Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 6 owns.
It's really good with 2 people.
With 2 people, I could not imagine playing it alone.
No, not at all. But like what we did play was actually surprisingly good.
You can kick zombies to death.
Yeah.
How could it be a bad game? How could it be a bad game?
I miss being able to do that.
Yeah, it definitely makes you go like, oh, right. I really like how Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 play. Like, I like being able to suplex zombies. You can't suplex a zombie in Resident Evil 8.
You did that. We did that one takedown where you just fucking like tackle someone and they like body slam them onto the railing of the train track.
It was awesome. There was one where you did like a takedown next to a car, and Leon shoves the guy's head through the fucking window.
It's rad.
It was so rad. It was incredible. Like no, I couldn't play this game. Like you should not play this game alone. Like get a friend. Because, like, I couldn't imagine trying to deal with, like, AI partners in this fucking game.
Oh, God, no.
Right? Like, no. Be horrible. But, like, with a friend, all you're doing is kicking zombies. Literally all Ben and I did was, like, kick zombies for 2 hours. Like, no, I'm not using my bullets. I'm using my feet. The cops can't help you. Only your fists can.
It was nice to play a Resident Evil game where ammo wasn't a concern, too.
Oh, yeah. Like, they just give it out. And they don't even make you fight over it. They literally give 2 stacks of ammo with every, like, ammo find thing.
What a cool mechanic, right?
Yeah.
Like, here's like we had different pickups, but it's like, oh, here's a pickup. Go get this, whatever it is. And he's like, oh, for me, it's a grenade. It's like, okay, I got some handgun ammo.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so much better to like make to like not have to fight. What'd you call it? Fighting over the pizza?
Yeah, there was no pizza. There was no TMNT pizza.
Yeah, everybody gets something. And I guess that's because they realize, like, this is more just, like, a fun two-player game. Like, you don't want to fight over resources with your friends. You want to kick zombies and shoot them in the head a lot. And this game facilitates that extremely well. Also,
yes.
All of the gore. We don't talk about that a lot on this show, but all of the gore in this game owns.
Man, we had moments where like we like kill a zombie and like its head falls off its spine and it looks really cool as it just like crumples.
Yeah, it was great. You could just like you would pop it and its head would just like fly off. And normally like gore in video games does not sell video games to me, Like I'm not a 14-year-old boy. But this was just fun.
Yeah.
Like, it was just fun. It just lends itself extremely well to, like, the stupid, pulpy nature of Resident Evil 6, and I really, really liked it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more. Hopefully we make time for that soon.
Yeah, for sure.
And... is there anything else that I really feel compelled to talk about? Everything else is for content. No, I'm good. I think that's the majority of it. So you're up, Ben.
All right. I did a few things. Obviously the other thing we have been doing that's more public is we've been streaming Mystical Ninja Star and Goemon.
Yes.
That game holds up a lot better than I anticipated it would, and I'm happy for that.
Yes, I am. I'm glad that it's not. It has some jank to it, for sure. The camera controls, mostly.
Right, yeah.
But otherwise, like, it's really solid.
Yeah, the music is great. The gameplay when I'm not fighting the controller is really good. And I realized the problem for a lot of it was my controller, actually. The PC controller I use is dying, and it ate some of my inputs because I tested it out with like other games. And I was like, oh, it's just, this $30 controller I got 5 years ago is finally kicking the bucket. Okay, that does track.
Yeah, that's actually fair. That makes sense.
So I just like ran around Goemon for a little bit, and it works a lot better with my PS4 controller. So
yeah,
I'll just use that. But yeah, it's nice. It's fun to play it again. What else did I do? I finished Rift Apart.
Okay.
That is currently my game of the year.
Okay.
For 2021.
Cool. Radical.
What a fantastic Ratchet and Clank game. I really, really hope it gets some kind of DLC. I only have like a few problems with it.
Okay.
The biggest one is that I wish Ratchet and Rivet played differently.
They're basically just the same person.
They are the same. They have the same loadout. They have the same mechanics and like weight and everything and abilities. Just 1-to-1 the same. So there really is no difference between like swapping them for because like they in the game they have like assigned planets. Like if you go to one planet, you'll play as Ratchet. If you go to another, you'll play as Rivet. So I hope like if Rivet and Kit appear in a sequel, they vary up the gameplay a little bit and give them something different. But all the weapons in the game feel great to use. They are so much fun. I love my shout out is the Topiary Sprinkler, which is your requisite turret for the game. That is an automatic sprinkler system that coats your enemies in flora and immobilizes them.
Ooh, that's fun. That's a good one. So they just like burst into flowers? Yes,
like flowers and vines like grow all around them and they freeze in place and you get to score some free hits on them.
That's awesome. Okay, I like that a lot.
What else was really good in that? You have your weapon that turns them into ice and they slide around the environment in like ice blocks, and you can hit them with your wrench and like send them flying.
I have to ask then, were there puzzles involving... No. Oh, thank God.
No, it was just a thing to like turn them into ice and like hit them into other enemies and stuff, or like knock them off an edge or something.
All right, well that's better then, because as soon as maybe it's just because like childhood traumas, but it's like, oh no, turn enemies into ice. That sounds like ice puzzles. Oh no.
No, because in Ratchet and Clank you have to buy all the weapons, so there's no weapon that's required. There's gadgets that you can get that are like mandatory because they're story progression. And those have puzzles associated with them, but all the weapons are just like pick whatever you want and adjust your loadout and stuff.
Okay. That sounds
the puzzle mechanic was you get this little like AI spider bot sidekick that goes into computers and like deletes viruses and stuff. Her name is Glitch. She's adorable.
Okay.
And she has like her own little side story about dealing with like the master virus. Completely unrelated to anything else going on in the game.
Meanwhile, in Glitch's story.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great. I love it. Emperor Nefarious is probably one of the best villains I've seen in a long time.
Oh, really? Okay.
He is just... I love Dr. Nefarious, which is like the original, like, our dimension. Is like, he's, you know... The way I describe it is that when Emperor Nefarious and Dr. Nefarious team up, it is like if Prime Starscream was Megatron, but had animated Starscream as his Starscream.
Okay, yeah. Sure, that sounds good.
Imagine if Prime Starscream were like legitimately threatening and imposing.
Okay.
But still...
Yeah, where, like, he actually had his shit together enough to be, like, a threat.
Yeah, but still acted like the same kind of smarmy asshole that he does act like.
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, he's fantastic. And he's Robert Atkin Downes, so of course he's just got that brilliant, menacing voice.
Right.
It's great. I love it. Yeah, it's a fantastic game. The platforming feels great. It looks spectacular. It's probably one of the best-looking games I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
There are just like certain cutscenes where I just have to like pause and just like appreciate the screenshot on my TV.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's like, oh right, this is like movie quality at this point, but you're playing it instead.
Like I there's a bit where like I'm walking around inside of a vent, like, you know, like the air vents in a building, and like there's like the like cloudy, unclear reflection in them.
Yeah.
Like the metallic, like not a perfect like metallic reflection, but like that.
Yeah, just like a blurred reflection.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my god, this thing has like full on lighting, because like some of your weapons glow. So like if you have that weapon out and you walk around, like the lighting like shifts with you, and like just holy crap.
It's like magic, right? Like these days, like it's like, oh yeah, video games are just magic again. Okay. And
the instant loading and like mind-blowing technology in this.
Sure.
Holy shit, game of the year for sure. Like
awesome. Unless of course the Great Ace Attorney just continues to blow your fucking socks off.
Oh yeah. Great Ace Attorney is phenomenal, don't get me wrong. That is still like, it's up there, but like if Great Ace Attorney had ray tracing, it might be more of a contender.
I like this idea, though. Somehow doing ray tracing in an Ace Attorney game sounds awesome.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, it's a fantastic game. Great humor, great writing. Really excited to see if they, you know, when they're going to work on their next Ratchet and Clank.
God, speaking of Richard Horvitz.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Psychonauts 2 came out.
I know.
Where am I going to find the time?
I know,
Where
right?
am I going to find the time? Where? Video game industry, because No More Heroes 3 is also out.
I gotta play that too. I'm like, it came in my mailbox and I was like, but I still have like 3 cases of Great Ace Attorney left to do.
Where am I going to find the time, video game?
And Arise is out in 10 days!
I know, we're doomed. Because once Arise happens, we're fucked.
I know.
Right? Like,
I know.
Shit. And I still have to play other games for content. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm dead. I'm just dead.
There's no time. There's literally no time.
It's just... I'm just gonna have to make peace with it. I'm literally gonna have to walk into a GameStop and be like, I need 6 games. And then be like, ma'am, that's like $500. I know. Let's just pull the Band-Aid off.
You just have to be like, it's for content.
It's for content. They go, oh, okay.
Oh, you're one of those.
I'm one of those people. I am one of those people.
Yeah.
Who has to play video games for content. Sorry.
I just want to really quick highlight one of my favorite jokes in Rift Apart.
Sure, hit me.
So, one of the primary like villain characters, Lawrence, who is Dr. Nefarious' butler, like snarky butler sidekick henchman. He's not in this game, and so they justify him not being in it by having Nefarious say that he's on paternity leave.
Okay.
And then
give your evil butler
which
paternity leave.
I will point out, both Dr. Nefarious and Lawrence are robots.
Okay. Okay.
So, but in the end credits of the game, Dr. Nefarious like walks out of Emperor Nefarious's lair, and he goes to greet Lawrence, who is standing next to his wife, who looks just like him, but like, cartoon girl version of him.
Sure, yeah, he's got like a pink bow in her hair instead.
Yeah, and like they have a little tiny baby Lawrence robot in a bundle. It's the best.
All right, that's pretty good.
Great, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Okay.
The only other thing I did, speaking of great jokes, is I did watch a lot of Jellystone.
Oh, how do you like that? Do you love it?
So if you were a little upset that Bird Girl doesn't have the kind of madcap humor that Harvey Birdman did, don't worry, it's in Jellystone now.
Okay.
Like,
okay then.
I made the tweet, and it literally is Harvey Birdman stabbed himself with the Yamato, and he split into Jellystone and Bird Girl.
Okay.
It is hilarious. It's C.H. Greenblatt, who was the director for Chowder, and
that makes sense.
You can tell.
You can tell. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
It's very obvious.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of those shows where you can just tell every single person had a ton of fun writing and drawing and voicing it. Mm-hmm. And it's great because no one in the world cares about any Hanna-Barbera character except for Scooby-Doo and his group, like the Scooby-Doo cast. No one cares about any other Hanna-Barbera character.
Nobody cares about Top Cat, okay?
So
nobody cares about Top Cat.
You can do whatever you want with them, and it's fine.
Yeah, it won't make anybody mad, right?
It's great.
Fine.
I love it. They turn Augie Doggy into like a super overprotective dad to his 12-year-old daughter. And he he pushes her around in a stroller.
Oh my god.
And he has a panic attack if she's more than 10 feet away from him.
Awesome.
It's great. I love it. Great show. I would highly recommend watching it.
Every clip I've seen from Jellystone is incredible. So at some point there, what is that on? Is that on HBO? It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, HBO Max.
Okay. Or sources.
Yeah, or you can just find it. Yeah.
Yeah, eyebrow waggle. The cool crime of piracy.
Yeah, so yeah, that's really good. Really fun. Snagglepuss is voiced by Dana Snyder, so
Oh, yeah.
Great, check that out. I would watch anything with Dana Snyder in it.
Anything else?
Nope, that's about it.
Nothing else to note? That was easy.
So let's get into news, because there was a lot of things happened. Let's start off with everything shown during the Nintendo Switch World Showcase. They showed off some Nindies. Axiom Verge 2 this is old because it's got Boyfriend Dungeon on it, which came out already.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's fine.
Yeah. So a lot of like, your standard fare for indie titles here. Loop Hero and Eastward were the two that I thought stood out. Eastward also will be coming out soon. Eastward is a pixel post-apocalyptic RPG type thing. Mm-hmm. And it's got a really cartoony, like Earthbound-esque art style.
Sure.
And the trailer just looked like really, really interesting. Same with
Eastward.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just looking up screenshots while we talk. Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's see what else. One of the other big ones was Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which is Jet Set Radio.
Yes, I have heard of that. That's just Jet Set Radio. Yeah.
That's just Jet Set Radio.
They were like, fuck it, we'll make our own.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Eastward. By the way, I was just Googling it. Eastward looks great. Like, his art style looks great. Okay.
Yeah, cool. I really want to check this one out.
Yeah, I'm on board. Okay. What is it?
It is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Bomb Rush. It's got the it's music by Naganuma, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That was like, I was like, it had someone from Jet Set Radio in it.
Okay, yeah. Naganuma is, understand the concept of love and whatnot. So that's it really is just
It's just Jet Set Radio. It is the bloodstained to Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, exactly. Good for them.
But yeah, so that everything else is just kind of like your standard fare, quirky indie title thing.
Sure.
But those were the ones that stood out to me for that.
Yeah.
Next, we have probably one of the biggest headlines of the month. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Idris Elba to play Knuckles.
Sure. Okay. This might as well be happening. Adult life is already so goddamn weird.
Paramount, on behalf of the meme community, we thank you for making this happen. Already the memes I've seen are groundbreaking.
See, to me, like, what's always funny is, like, I have to stop learning my news through, like, through shit posts I see either on the Discord or on Twitter. Like, I'm just, like, minding my own business, and suddenly, like, our fucking Discord has like memes about it, and I'm like, that's funny, and then it's like, no, that's actually happening. Idris Elba is actually playing Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie. Like, oh, okay, sure, why not?
I think my favorite ones I've seen are when he was on Hot Ones, and and it's just like Knuckles when he catches Rouge stealing the Master Emerald again.
yeah.
It's great.
It's great. No, I'm looking forward to it. I still haven't seen the first one. Like, I want to at some point because it sounds cute. It'd be good, like, be bored, watch it one night kind of movie.
Well, Sarah, we have this show we do once a month where we watch content.
Yeah, but that movie's too long for takeout.
Is
well,
it?
I guess not.
I thought it was only I thought it was under 2 hours.
Well, okay, hold on. Before we go anywhere, Sonic the Hedgehog runtime.
I would assume it's a pretty quick runtime if it's Sonic.
139. Okay,
oh yeah, so we can do that.
Yeah, Resident Evil Degeneration was only was an hour 36. So, yeah, okay. That'll probably happen at some point. Folks.
Don't be surprised if Sonic the Hedgehog appears on Takeout.
Like before the second one comes out, maybe we'll do that because that's the kind of movie that you can just talk over, like especially for all the sequences where there's just like a human dude.
Yeah.
I will say, no humans. Hey, no more humans.
Yeah, I
humans,
hope so. Besides Jim Carrey.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Yeah.
Is to say, Sonic the Hedgehog and Transformers movies be the same. Stop making me see people.
Yeah.
Just let me see these video game characters, thank you.
Again, except for Jim Carrey, because if Jim Carrey were in a Transformers movie, that'd be all right.
I actually would be okay with that too if they put Jim Carrey in a Transformers movie. But otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for the memes, Idris Elba. We appreciate it.
Thank you for your contribution to a most holy cause.
Next, anticipated PS5 app for horror game Abandoned accidentally trolls everyone.
What is going on with this?
Okay, so Abandoned is a fake game that's not real and doesn't exist.
It's a fake video game.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Like, it's not real.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so they have like there's allegedly it's just a scam. So let me just go through this article because there's you might have seen on YouTube or whatever, there's this thing, trailer for a game called Abandoned, which kind of looks vaguely Silent Hills-esque, And, you know, it's your first person in a bad place, and you walk around, and there's spooky things happening to you. And then there was nothing for a very long time. And then finally it's like, here's the demo. And the demo just didn't work.
Right.
You couldn't play it. And the company was like, oops.
And then they never fixed it.
Yeah, it still is not up.
Okay.
So there is a timeline that is going around that the studio Blue Box has been announcing and not releasing games for a long time. In 2015, they announced a game called Rewind that where the demo never actually came out, and then development was on halt. They had a Kickstarter for it and canceled that Kickstarter.
Okay.
And the site has now been deleted. And they announced the game The Lost Tape. That never came out. The Whisperer never came out. Unseen Faces never came out. Tales of the Six Swords never came out. The Haunting never came out.
This is a lot more games than I was expecting, Ben.
And now we're on Abandoned.
So yeah, this is just like a scam company.
Yeah,
this is just a scam company that I assume takes like investor money and then just runs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, I'm sorry, wrong. I'm sorry, I was wrong. The Haunting did come out.
Oh.
It received 100% negative reviews and was removed from Steam Early Access.
Okay then. All right then. Well, you know what? Okay.
So.
So this is a scam company.
Yeah,
100%.
this is a fake company to sell things.
Sure, absolutely. To get like pre-order money and then never deliver. Okay.
You know, with the right money, you could make a flop and still make millions.
Yeah, it's the producers, 100%. That's it.
Yeah. There's a lot of streamers out there who want to play horror games.
Oh my god.
So, next, I hope this one's true. Rumor, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas remakes are in development for consoles, PC, and mobile.
That would be very cool. I would even, not even a full... Okay, excuse me. Caveat. Would be very cool, but only if they get the music right.
Yes, the important thing, the most important thing, they could just put the PS2 games out with no... they didn't even have to put that shit in widescreen. They can keep it in 4:3.
Sure, absolutely. As long as they keep the soundtrack.
Yeah, as long as every song from the game is in it.
That's it.
That's
every single song from... Don't touch a single song in Vice City. Just release it as is. And, yeah, absolutely. I will buy it. 100%.
Yeah, I want to play Vice City again. As long as it has the one radio station I listened to the entire time I played the game.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yep.
I hope. Because, so much of those old games, the nostalgia of those old games is tied to just, screwing around listening to the radio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played so much Vice City that I didn't need the map anymore.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just cruise around, just know the whole place like the back of your hand. It's your actual city that you grew up in.
Yeah.
Because, I don't even think I ever finished Vice City. I don't think I ever actually finished the plot of Vice City. To this day, I don't think I could actually tell you what happens in Vice City.
Oh, not at all. I beat that game. I can't remember any character's name.
No, I don't know anybody in that game. But that's not the important part. The important part is tooling around in a car from the 80s, listening to old 80s music.
Yeah.
In Miami. That's it.
Yeah, that's the only... That's, if these come out and they do not have the soundtrack, then there's no reason to buy these games.
Yeah, dead in the water. But I'm sure they will, because, what are they gonna do? Replace it all with, generic music?
Oh, that would be the worst option they could do.
Could you imagine just royalty-free 80s sounding music?
Oh, garbage.
Oh, garbage. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trash. Irredeemable.
If they do this, they can put on the box, the soundtrack is untouched.
Yeah, literally featuring the soundtrack from Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yeah.
That's it. So, I hope so. I hope so, because, like, you know, I don't need, like, a full, like, fancy remake, you know, just, like, widescreen and nicer textures and the soundtrack. That's it.
That's all I need. It can play exactly the same. I don't care.
I don't care. It exists for an extremely specific purpose, and I want to play it again for that extremely specific purpose, you know?
Like, Vice City is one of those games where, like, I hand wrote the cheat codes and put them on a index card in the case.
Yep.
So I want to live that again. So let me play Vice City again on, like, a PS5. Let me take full advantage of the SSD to get rid of the loading times in Vice City.
God, please. Let me live in the future while, like, playing, like, games from when I was a kid. That's the dream, right?
Yeah.
Please.
Next, we have millions of players later, Outriders devs still waiting for money.
Womp womp.
People Can Fly have not gotten paid for working on Outriders because no one bought it.
Oh no, that sucks. That's video game accounting right there.
Yeah.
But that's also producers accounting right there. Now that you say it.
Yeah.
That sucks. That just working in AAA is a scam. You know, like People Can Fly was doomed basically as soon as they like made the transition to making like big video games.
Yeah.
Instead of just making like Painkiller forever. Like it really is just increasingly like, oh yeah, working in the AAA industry is a scam.
Square Enix's Western development team sucks.
It just sucks.
They're so bad at it.
They're so bad at it. Every single project is mismanaged. Every single Western developer, like, under that umbrella is grotesquely mistreated and subject to, like, to standards that are impossible to meet, probably on purpose so that they don't have to ever pay out bonuses or anything like that. And, like, it seems like if you manage to get away from Square Enix, you do a lot better, basically, as soon as you're free. I mean, like, look at how well IO is doing, just being on their own, just self-publishing Hitman.
Yeah.
Like, Hitman 3 is a hit.
So here's a quote from the article. This here's Hitman 3, the latest game in the series, and the first to be published independently by IO Interactive, made its money back within a week.
Yeah, like, you know, that's it. Don't work with Square Enix. If you're a Western developer, really if you're any developer that is not in-house at Square Enix, don't work with them. Don't let them buy you, you know? If your company does get bought by Square Enix, quit!
Do not look at Square Enix. Do not interact with Square Enix. Do not shake Square Enix's hand.
Do not look Square Enix dead in the eye. Like, they don't know how to manage Western debt. I mean, I don't know what's going on. This has been a long-running problem. It happened to fucking poor Deus Ex, you know?
Deus Ex and Tomb Raider. It happened to both of them.
Both of them got extremely fucked by impossible sales goals and even tighter development windows than what normally happens in the AAA sphere, you know, which are already very tight windows usually. They got it even worse, and now both of them are dead. Both of them just make bullshit now. Like,
yeah.
They don't get to do anything cool. They're, you know, fucking poor Eidos Montreal is saddled, has the albatross around its neck that is Marvel's The Avengers, right? What a nightmare. We're never gonna get that third Deus Ex game.
But Black Panther's in the game now. Don't you remember?
Aren't you so excited for Hawkeye?
For both Hawkeyes?
I legitimately forgot Hawkeye's name for a minute there.
You're gonna be like, Green Arrow? No, he's different.
No, that's a different one. That's a different one. He's got a hot girlfriend. No, Yeah, that's tragic. Poor Eidos Montreal. They're never getting that Deus Ex game. It's dead forever.
Nope, never. Here's a quote from People Can Fly CEO Sebastian Wojciechowski. Despite this disappointing news, we believe the first royalties from Outriders sales will come this year.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. So, here's the question.
Yes.
When is People Can Fly closing down?
See, this is a special circumstance because Square Enix doesn't have mines they can throw devs teams into.
Sure, yeah, exactly.
You know, they don't. I mean, you don't get thrown into the Avengers mines like you get thrown into the COD mines or the Battlefield mines.
They just shutter studios.
A year.
A year.
2022. Yeah. If Outriders doesn't pick up a year.
Yeah, mid 2022 is what I was gonna say. So yeah, because unless they can also manage to like negotiate their way out of being owned by Square Enix, which I mean has happened. There's precedent for it, so maybe they can negotiate their way out of that and just make like another Painkiller game, and then just make a shit zillion dollars off of that.
Yep,
and that would be nice. Stop letting yourselves be purchased by Square Enix. It's very much like, that quote that's Arrested Development. That's like, these poor fools, they try this thing and they fail every time. But with us, it'll be different.
They have these delusions that that it can never fail. But for us, we might be able to pull it off.
Yeah, exactly. It's that.
Yeah. There's a bit in 8-Bit Theater, speaking of Square Enix, where Sara is like killing off members of like the other Light Warriors. Like it's what is it? It's Archer, Berserker, Cleric, and someone I can't remember the other one, but like as he's killing them off one by one of them is like, no, but don't you see the pattern? He's killing everyone who isn't us, so we're safe.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. If somebody from Square Enix shows up at your door with like a suitcase full of cash and was like, would you like to be purchased by us? I know that suitcase full of cash is very tantalizing. Under no circumstances should you take that suitcase full of cash. Oh my god.
Just don't. Just walk away. It's okay.
Just walk away. Keep making Painkiller games. I promise you'll be happier.
If you see Western Square Enix dev crawling out of the ocean, push it back in. You had your chance, pal.
Oh god. What a clusterfuck.
Speaking of horrid beasts evolving.
Oh no.
Goodbye, Volcano. Goodbye, Volcano High. Pushed to 2022 amid narrative reboot.
No! That's so much worse!
Oops.
Oopsie doodle. Oh god. So
here's just the quote that I'm going to say. It was initially met with some controversy due to writer Kate Gray's history with a controversial article on Kotaku that included pornographic depictions of fictional characters who were minors.
Oh, that's right. She's the freak who put her Harry Potter fanfic on Kotaku?
Yeah.
Which is, like, weird, like...
Yeah.
Like, people writing weird fanfic doesn't phase, like, fine. Like, it's gross, but, like, it also doesn't phase me, because I've also been on the internet since, too long, But, like, just put that shit on AO3.
It just reminds me of that like that quote from something where it's like, here's Here's a printout of my Harry Potter pornography, and here's another printout for if you throw the first one in the garbage.
Yeah, like...
It's like...
Put it on AO3!
It's like, imagine being on, like, the local news and being like, in lieu of a news story tonight, I would like to read aloud an excerpt from my story.
I would like to read an excerpt from my pornographic story. Like, don't put that... Don't put that on Kotaku. Don't.
Here's the second quote.
Oh, no.
While discussion of the narrative reboot doesn't explicitly mention the controversy surrounding Gray, she does not appear to be on writing on the game anymore, and the timing of seeking a new narrative team for Goodbye Volcano High lines up with its June 2020 announcement and subsequent controversy.
Yeah, and also, like, the other problem is that I feel like everybody on planet Earth guessed the twist, which is in, like, huge finger quotes, that, like, they're all gonna die when the meteor strikes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, don't... That, you know... Do
like,
something else with your story. Everybody knows what's gonna happen. Do something different. With your
like,
bad visual novel.
The rest of the team just, like, saw that article go up, and they all just simultaneously turned to Kate Gray and, like, start putting her things in a box and hand it to her.
And I mean, like, the problem with Goodbye Volcano High is that it looks bad.
Yeah.
Even if the writer wasn't, like, a weirdo who put her erotic Harry Potter fanfic on Kotaku.com, like, it still just looks bad. Like, the art style looks bad. It is an ugly looking video game. And I presume, like, another, like, shitty Western visual novel, which is, like, a thing, that I'm tired of, because, like, very few Western visual novels actually seem to care about, like, visual novels. They want to be like, this time, it'll be different, you know?
Yeah.
So... And it's just, it has an extremely ugly art style, and nothing I saw in that trailer was even, like, remotely appealing to me. So, just in general, no thank you.
Do you remember one of the armchair dev pitches, where, Dr. Aggro described an Echo the Dolphin reboot, where you play as a human that slowly turns into a dolphin?
Yes, I do.
That's what this reminds me of.
That's what, like, that game would look like.
Yeah.
Like, this weird humanoid dinosaur thing. Yeah, no, everything I've seen of Goodbye Volcano High is extremely off-putting. So, maybe just make a different video game.
So, I think the meanest thing I can say about it is that I'm not surprised someone on that team is a weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't...
That tracks.
I wasn't gonna go so far as, like, sex pest.
Sure, no, of course
but,
not.
But, like, oh, you wrote some weird fanfic, like, 5 years ago.
And put it on Kotaku. That's the thing that just really, like... That's the thing that baffles me, right? Like, fine, people write weird fanfic.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a lot of people you know in the real world have written weird fanfic, right? Like,
right.
And you don't even realize it. But, like...
It could be your neighbor.
It could be your sister. It could be you, you know? But, like, and that, you know, okay. But, like... Don't put it on Kotaku. That's the part that just continuously baffles me. Anyways, yeah.
Anyway. Speaking of horrid beasts evolving.
Stop it!
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition announced for PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Get out of my house, Todd! What are you doing here? Go away!
They're putting a bunch of Creation Club stuff in it, and all the DLC is there, and it's, you know, it's Skyrim again. Fishing is going to be in it, and that. It's Skyrim. It's inevitable. Skyrim's going to be on whatever's coming out.
It's going to be on everything forever.
Yeah.
I think this officially does mean it has more ports than Resident Evil 4. Like, this officially makes it, like, more ported than Resident Evil 4.
I think RE4 has been overtaken. Just wait until the remake comes out.
Oh, yeah, then they'll be back to being neck and neck. It's fine. But, like, so the thing is, if it's like $30, I might buy it. In my defense, I can hear people be like, Sarah, don't buy Skyrim again. I haven't bought Skyrim since Skyrim came out. Okay?
Yeah, I only own one copy of Skyrim.
I only own one copy of Skyrim. The only problem is that I wonder, because like on Skyrim on PS4 and Xbox One, they had mods working. Like, they actually got mods working. And the problem is that mods on PlayStation, because we both played Fallout 4 on PS4, they sucked. They were very bad. You couldn't do good mods because of PlayStation Sony's limitations. So I wonder if they're also just going to bring the mod storefront over to like the Xbox and PS5 versions.
I don't think so. I think that's what the Creation Club is filling in for.
Okay.
I think it's just going to be, here's a bunch of mods that we approved of, and they're already in the game for you. You don't have to download them at all.
Well, I don't know. That sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're pretty hefty. Like, some of them are like quests, and like, you know, the fishing mechanic is a mod.
Yeah.
Like survival mode is a mod. So yeah, like they're just, it's
cool, okay.
500 unique Creation Club elements, including like new quests and that stuff.
See, this is a conversation we had with Saturn just in private. They were saying that Chris Takahashi, the guy who did the really good Fallout 4 mod that adds a bunch of quests. Mm-hmm. He also did a version of that. He did something like that for Skyrim, and they weren't as good because it was earlier writing, you know.
Right.
You know, it's somebody's first attempt at writing. And I'm wondering, like, if that's going to be included. I mean, that would still be interesting, you know, because that's a shit ton of new quests.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am interested. I'm sorry, folks. I am interested. I am a Bethesda mark through and through. You know.
Regrettably, we are.
Tragically, I am a Bethesda mark, even when they suck. Like, 1,700 hours in Fallout 4. What do you want from me? At this point, unless it's just bad, bad, I'm gonna buy it. And even I bought 76. So you're like, you know, like it has to be non-functional
right.
for me to play it. For me to not play it, you know what I mean?
Like your bar is already pretty low.
The bar is in hell, yes. So you know, I only bought Skyrim once. I've only bought Skyrim once, so if I'm gonna buy it again, this isn't a bad time to buy it again.
Yeah.
If it's $60, I'm not buying it.
Oh no, of course not. No, never.
But if it's like $30 or $40, yeah, I'll buy it again. Sure,
yeah.
Why not? It's like that is so much video game for so little money at that point. So, you know, fine. You got me, Todd.
Yeah.
Now get out of my house.
A Twitch streamer let people control his life like The Sims, including when he peed. Sarah, do you know a single thing about Germa?
Why are you making me learn anything? This podcast is over. I quit. I'm done. This is what I was saying. The only time I ever learn anything about Twitch streamers is against my will. It's because, like, I'm locked in a room with someone who's like, do you want to hear about Germa? No. I don't know anything about this man.
This man has, like, I'm assuming, like over 1 million followers, right?
Oh, it's more than that. Those are baby numbers.
Like, and he's obviously well off enough that he can do this thing.
Sure.
I don't know a single thing about him. I've never seen a clip of this dude. I've never, like, seen an interview with him.
I don't know. Like, every time I turn around, Twitter's trending topics has somebody on Twitch who I've never heard of, but it's like they emerged from the ether with like 45 million followers,
right?
Of like 13-year-old girls. And I'm like, where did you come from? I am at this point convinced the CIA is astroturfing all of this. I don't know why, but
I think Dream is definitely like
a CIA plant?
Some kind of like scheme.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like 100%. Like either totally astroturfed by like Amazon, maybe? I don't know.
Because like I've seen Germa's name around for like years, you know? Like I've been aware that he exists as a streamer, kind of like in the same way that like Vine Sauce I know exists, but I don't watch any of their content.
Sure.
But like Dream just manifested one day and now we have to live in that world.
I don't like it. I don't like living in this reality where like Minecraft YouTubers are minor celebrities. Like, I do think all of this is a CIA plan. I don't know.
Like, to what end?
To what end? Like, what are they furthering with this? But yeah, no, this is a spook. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All of these people are spooks. 100%. If you showed up at their house spontaneously, nobody would live there. Like the address that they have listed on their taxes it's like those fake FBI towns that they use to conduct drills, and you can like find them and there'll be people there and those people will give you weird looks. Absolutely positive that Dream and Germa's houses are like that.
It's like that time where I had that interview for like a game dev company, and then like I went to an interview.
Yeah.
And then like I got completely ghosted, and the guy's address didn't exist. It took me to like an abandoned parking structure in Detroit.
You almost got human trafficked.
Yeah. Like
I am positive that you almost got trafficked. Like to this day, I'm like, oh, Ben dodged a bullet. Okay.
It's like that. It's just it's you know it's. Why there hasn't been a Germa in this town for over 50 years? And then you go to the alleyway where you watched his stream and nothing is there. But yeah, I guess he turned himself into The Sims or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Everything is so weird these days. The pandemic drove us all collectively insane, like as a species.
This is why, I've said it like a bunch of times, this is why I really like watching Pat and Wooly. Is because every other like streamer or LPer eventually goes completely insane.
Sure. And
like will their production value will go up so high that they lose like their entire focus of who they are as a person. Aaron Hansen. But like Wooly has weird opinions about peanut butter.
What?
And that's about it.
No, I'm sorry. What? What do you mean Wooly has weird opinions about peanut? What does that sentence even mean?
He just like, because like they're Canadian, so like their peanut butter is slightly different, and so like he just has weird opinions on like what peanut butter should be. It's like that's their level of like controversy.
Sure. Awesome. Good for them. They've been the exact same for like 12 years now. And in 12 years, they will be the exact same people.
Like every so often, Pat will just say something completely insane. And then that's just it.
And then we just move on.
Yeah.
And then he bullies like Cliff Bleszinski on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then we all just move on with our lives.
It's great. So, Spider-Man No Way Home trailer tears open the multiverse. They did it.
They did it.
They got Alfred Molina to be in a movie again.
They did it. You know, not to sound like a boomer, but I am going to sound like a boomer for a minute, so just sit tight, okay? Like, man, seeing the trailer, or seeing Alfred Molina in the trailer, I actually have not watched the full trailer yet. I just watched the part that had Doc Ock in it, because I'm like, I know that guy. I'm like, Spider-Man 2 is a really good movie.
It's a really good movie.
That's the problem. I saw Alfred Molina, and I went, I should go watch that scene again. You know, the one where Doc Ock wakes up in the hospital, and he, like, kills
the Sam
everybody?
Raimi scene?
In, like, the most Sam Raimi scene that's ever Sam Raimi. Hey, did you know Sam Raimi directed Spider-Man 2?
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell that Sam Raimi directed the original Spider-Man trilogy, but if you look closely, you can see the parts.
It's really subtle, but it's there. Yeah.
In case you weren't noticing, there's a few points where Bruce Campbell is in the movie. It's hard to tell when Bruce Campbell's on the camera, but if you look closely...
It's amazing. It is amazing going back and watching that scene. How brutal it is. It owns. Yeah. It owns.
Did you also know that Sam Raimi used to direct horror movies?
Yeah, he was like a guy who made like weird horror movies forever, and they were also really good. Yeah, no, it's there's so many like there's so much Evil Dead shit in that single scene. It's like you can just watch that scene and know exactly what Evil Dead is about.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It rules. Yeah, so like I just saw Alfred Molina in No Way Home, and I was like, I really want to watch Spider-Man 2. Can we do Spider-Man 2 for takeout?
We could probably do Spider-Man 2. It's probably not. It's an early aughts movie. It's probably not that long.
Yeah, no, like modern movies suck because they're all like 800 hours long. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man 2 runtime. 2 hours and 7 minutes.
That's doable.
We can do it because it's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
If it was a bad movie, that was 2 hours and 7 minutes.
If it was Amazing Spider-Man 2, no, we couldn't do that.
No, we're not subjecting ourselves to that ever. Thank you. But I'll watch we'll watch Spider-Man. We'll watch Spider-Man for takeout.
Beyond just like Alfred Molina just shows up and he's like, I'm in the movie now. We also saw like hints of Jamie Foxx's Electro, and I really, really hope Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin.
Oh God, please!
I hope he's just in the same costume.
Yes, he can still fit into that amazing costume from 2001.
You're too late, Spider-Man. Weed has already been legalized. But you're the one getting smoked, Gobby!
Please. I haven't seen a Marvel movie in forever. I would go see that. If we had Willem Dafoe just in his fucking rubber costume from 2001... Yes.
Oh, God.
First in line.
I hope so. God, I need it.
Please do it. Just do it.
I need him just hamming it up like he did. Good God.
There's nobody who's ever had more fun in a superhero movie. Except for Alfred Molina, now that I think about it. Yeah. So, just bring the best parts of the old Raimi movies back, please.
This also gives me hope that Raimi will do a good job with the Doctor Strange movie.
Sure.
So there's a bit I haven't watched yet, but there's a bit I know of in the new Suicide Squad movie where there is arms fall off lad.
Oh, great.
So there's his arms shoot off.
Oh.
The effect of his arms like launching off to punch someone looks like a bad 80s effect.
Yes.
Like you can see them like slowly float towards the guys shooting at him, and like they're kind of wobbling like they're on a string.
Great.
And it's like
Perfect.
I'm like, that's what I want Multiverse of Madness to look like.
Yeah, make it. I want it to look like a Sam Raimi movie. Like that's it, please.
I want it to be all practical effects and like that was really intense zooming and zoom out that he does.
It's his favorite gimmick.
If we don't get a thing where, like, a tracking shot runs really, really quickly through an environment, then, like, what's the point of getting Sam Raimi to direct your movie?
Yeah, if Benedict Cumberbatch isn't being chased basically by a camera, then, like, what's the point? God.
So I'm probably actually gonna watch No Way Home just because I want to see all those Sam Raimi characters again.
Yeah, that's it. That's why we're all here.
Every time Tobey Maguire isn't on the screen, everyone should be asking, where's Tobey Maguire?
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Just put Spider-Man 2 back in theater. You know, like, they keep putting old movies back in theaters. Just put do like a double feature of 1 and 2.
Oh, man.
Nobody likes 3. Just do a double feature of 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Just 4 hours of just, like, old hammy, like, early 2000s superhero movies, back when things were still, like, good and pure.
God, you know what? No. They should do a good recut of Spider-Man 3 where they take out just Venom.
Yeah, and just do the Sandman shit.
Yeah, just leave the black suit in because that's a good thing. Because I was watching clips of Spider-Man 3 and I suddenly an opinion, a nuanced opinion formed in my head.
Like a light bulb going off.
Because it was I was watching that scene where Sandman first reforms and he's trying to solidify his body and he reaches for the locket and his hand goes through it.
Sure.
And it's holy shit, this is really, really good. And I was like, they should have just cut out Venom, and the conflict of the movie is that this ultra aggressive, violent Spider-Man is going against this really sympathetic villain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's there's a contrast there. It's instead of working things out with this character who is a bit more nuanced than Norman Osborn or Otto Octavius,
right.
He's more prone to just fighting because he's being influenced by the suit, and Topher Grace isn't here.
And it's a good movie instead.
And I was oh my god, I'm forming a nuanced opinion of Spider-Man 3, the only movie I almost walked out of the theater.
Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! I'm seeing the nuance in Spider-Man 3. This is the end for me, folks. As you hang yourself. I don't know. God.
So, speaking of more disasters...
Stop.
Activision Blizzard HR accused of shredding documents relating to abuse allegations.
And then less than 24 hours later, they're we're changing McCree's name.
Hey, remember how we joked? We joked a lot.
Sure.
About how they can't turn a character gay to get out of this one.
They sure as hell are gonna try.
They're fucking trying.
They're gonna try. Listen to me. Look into my eyes. I know you can't actually see me because we don't put our webcams on when we do this, but stare directly forward, you are, like I am sitting across from you. Okay, they are going to make McCree and Hanzo a canon couple.
Oh, for sure. They're gonna.
Sure.
They're go.
That's how they're going to change his name. It's going to be Jesse Shimada. Yeah.
That's how I was about to say. They're going to get married and Jesse's going to change his name.
Yep, that's how it's going to be. Call it here, Call it here. I am Babe Ruth pointing at the stands. Baby, that's me. All right?
Hey, Activision Blizzard.
Don't do that.
You can't shred those documents. That's just admitting you're guilty.
Oh yeah. What sucks? What is utter horseshit about our fucked up, our nightmare justice system is that the penalty for shredding those documents is less than what would have what would have happened if prosecutors had been allowed to read those documents. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they did it. They did like
Yeah.
calculate. They did like calculated loss math, and we're like, you know what? One of these is a lesser fine, and that's why they're doing it. And that just sucks. It just sucks. It all sucks. It's the shadiest thing in the world. Everything that comes out of this is just like the worst. So, you know, thanks. I hate it. Like, none of the cash. Leave the dog alone. Anyways, like, everything that comes out of Blizzard about this is just more and more bleak. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
this has been ongoing. We haven't really talked about it because it's, like, really, really intense and, like, hypersensitive.
Yeah, like, a lot of shit that came out initially, like, the initial allegations and stuff that came out and all the stuff that was in the first, like, news article was, like, we're, like, a dumb jokey joke podcast, you know? And so,
we haven't had to put, like, content warnings on our podcast.
Right.
And that's by design, because we don't even want to, like, approach that level.
Yeah, like, this is a podcast where we talk about stupid shit.
Yeah.
Literally all of the time.
So that's why this part is the stupid shit.
Yes, exactly. This is the stupid shit. And again, I'm calling it. That's how they're going to change McCree's name. You're welcome.
Oh my
right.
God. You're totally right. And
you're welcome.
Fucking, you can't. We know you shredded the documents. You can't, like...
Yeah, no. But and they know we know, and they don't care. They don't care because the penalty for doing that is less than what they would have got if people had been allowed to read those documents. Yep. That's it. So, like, that's literally why they did it. It was just calculated risk, and it's probably going to pay off, at least to some degree. They won't have to pay slightly less money if they end up paying any money at all with the way, you know, things happen. So, you know, we'll see.
Remember how we used to be able to just, like, once a month Blizzard would fuck something up? Hey, remember the glory days, like, last year or 2 years ago when they had just managed to, like, the free Hong Kong thing, and we thought that was going to kill them, and they just kept finding more stairs to fall down?
It's incredible. It's like they hit rock bottom, and then they got a shovel, and they just dug, and they just kept going. It's incredible.
It's amazing. I can't wait for them to flounder and event, like... How eventually something's gonna take them down.
Oh, they're having a bad time as it is. Their overall player base for like all of their games is down by like 50%. Nobody plays Overwatch anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody is playing WoW nearly the way they used to.
It literally is Team Fortress 2 wins without doing anything.
Yeah, it's that Mario Party gif yet again, where where Team Fortress 2 just kind of stands around and wins just by like existing still.
It's the bit from Expiration Date where Soldier's like, "Good news, we are not going to die. We are going to live forever."
Oh God.
Overwatch 2 is never coming out.
Overwatch 2 is never coming out. Overwatch 2 is as fake a game as that fake horror game we were just talking about. Like, those are the same level of fakeness.
So we got just a few more here. One of them is kind of neat, and one of them is really big, but we'll get one of the neat ones to give us a little breather.
Sure, let's do it.
Devil May Cry's classic combat was inspired by a bug in Onimusha.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, Onimusha. This is, I guess, just like if you've played Devil May Cry for a shit zillion years, like I have. That's kind of part of the lore. Was that Kamiya was like I think he's like a bug tester on Onimusha, or he was working on Onimusha, and it was a bug that let him juggle enemies, and he liked it so much, he's like, let's put it in a video game. And then they did. And it was like it's like a key component of Devil May Cry's gameplay now, is keeping enemies in the air as much as you can. And yeah, I love that. I think that's one of my favorite little pieces of Devil May Cry history. Like, so much of Devil May Cry is kind of born out of, like, accidents, in a way, right?
It is, because so, like, I'm now thinking about the chain. So it's like... Onimusha is we want to make a samurai game that's like a Resident Evil samurai game.
Yes.
And then it's like, look at this weird glitch that happened. Oh, well, why don't we make a game about that? At the same time, we're making RE4. And it's like, well, what if we... What is our ideas for Resident Evil 4? Well, what if we made a guy named Tony Redgrave? And it's like, no, that's not going to work out. What if we did an over-the-camera thing? And then, like, it branched off, and, like, one became RE4, and the action one became Devil May Cry, with this, like, Onimusha assist tagging in.
Yeah, exactly. That's totally it. It was like the kind of the heat map of Devil May Cry's initial development is so interesting because, like, you know, they were making RE4 and it was too weird and different, and I guess at some point in the RE4 making process, that's when they put in juggling, and I'm sure to a certain degree, what made them decide to, like, have it splinter off into being its own franchise was, like, the addition of stuff like juggling, right? Like,
yeah.
Because it's like, well, this isn't really, you know, you're shooting... I presume you're shooting at zombies at that point in the development. You're shooting at zombie monsters. And you're keeping them in the air because, like, that's a thing that Dante's guns can do. Like, at that point, that is the exact moment you go in your head, like, oh, we fucked up. We didn't make a Resident Evil game, did we? Oh, no.
Yeah, we went too far with this one.
Well, and then instead of throwing it out because, you know, Kings, they were like, just put a new name on it. It's fine. We're gonna call it something else. Take out all the umbrella symbols and call something else. It's fine. It's fine.
Put demons in it instead.
Yeah. Replace all the zombies with marionettes. And it was a huge success. Good for them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was just a neat little thing that I learned. Yeah. And now we have one of the other big ones. Speaking of things that are fucked. Exposing fraud and deception in the retro game market. Everyone watch this video.
Oh yeah, the video is incredible. It's such good journalism.
So we reported, what was it, last month or the month before?
It was last month, yeah. It was last month. We talked about the Mario 64 cartridge that sold for $1.2 million.
And we had a pretty lengthy discussion about, like, who are the kinds of people that buy these things. Mm-hmm. And we found out, and the answer is rich assholes.
Well, yeah, and I think I did mention that in the episode when we were kind of speculating on who these people are. I was like, well, it's not collectors. It's not people who actually care about video games. It is people buying into it to get into the speculation market, which is completely different than collection, right? Collection, you own a thing because you like the thing. Speculation, you own the thing because you think the thing is going to increase in value and you can resell it later. And I was right.
You were right, and we all went to hell.
And we all went to hell. Although it is very interesting now. So, the story broke on a YouTube video, and then Seth Abramson did some reporting on it as well, like follow-up reporting on it. And the interesting thing that it is causing that speculated game collection market to crash, which owns. Like, it's just a good thing.
The video talked about the bubble.
Yeah, and then the video helped pop that bubble.
And the bubble is losing its structural integrity.
Yeah, it's awesome. So it's... And I am still racking my brain. I have heard the name Jim Halperin somewhere else before.
Me too, and that's the thing is, like, Jim Halperin, I know that name.
I know that name, and I googled him, and all that comes up is his speculation shit and his heritage auction shit. And it's like, where else do I know this guy's name?
Like, I have definitely heard his name come up in some other context.
Right, and it is making me crazy. I have Googled this so many times. Like, Jim Halperin. I'm, like, looking at his YouTube page right now.
The shocking twist that he was also behind the coin collecting crash.
Oh, it's the same guy. It's incredible.
Was, like, you couldn't write a better reveal.
Yeah, he's just been running the same fucking grift for years now, and it keeps working. And, like, he keeps getting caught.
Yeah.
Like, what on earth?
So yeah, so it's just a video. It's like under an hour, and it's just going into the kinds of people that participate in how they inflate these prices and how they create hype for them, and then just sell them to themselves so that they can sell them again later.
Yeah, that's it. And
It's
and
just-
that creates like a speculation bubble, because like other rich assholes see that this thing has gone up in value like by 200% in however many years. And so then people who aren't Jim Halperin and his fucking co-conspirators, they start buying in too, which in turn increases the value of the stuff that Halperin and company own. Like, it's all a scam. Like, yeah, but you know, that's just fucking...
So the interesting thing about it is that it's scam that in no way affects us. They're just being assholes about it.
Yeah, you know.
Like, this isn't like, you know, Bitcoin, where they're buying up all of the graphics cards and like
Sure.
harvesting them and like stacking up the price for those. These collectors aren't buying versions of a game that like need to be in cycle, you know, in like circulation for like preservation's sake.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
They're just being dicks about it.
They're just being dicks about it. They're just buying, like... I mean, they're just buying, like, old video games for the purpose of investment, like, reasons. And they're not taking, like, rare collectible games off the market. They're not... it's not like they're buying up all of the cheapo versions of Mario 64 that you can buy off of eBay. They're just buying like these mint-in box, and I would really like to know. So the video mentions I think it's called. He says it's called a scarcity report or something like that.
Like a population report or something, I think.
Yes, that's it. It's a population report where comic book collectors do this, or the people who value comics do this. They put out reports that say like, well, we estimate that there are X number of Action Comics #1 still out in the wild. You know? Like,
and then here's like a breakdown of them, like by their you know, quality grade.
Right. Yeah. And so that lets you know, like, you have a legitimately rare thing. And that was actually a thing we were speculating on in last month's episode before we even knew what a fucking population report was.
Yeah.
We were saying like, well, I wonder how many mint in box versions of Mario 64 there actually are out there still. And I mean, the reason that Heritage Auctions and WADA, and that was another thing. I got a nose for this shit, folks, because literally last month I was also like, well, who's running the auction? Is it like Christie's? Is it Sotheby's? You know, these are known auction houses that I have heard of before because I went to art school, and so art gets auctioned on Christie's and Sotheby's all the time. And it was like, no, it isn't by any of the known auction houses. It's some new auction house called Heritage Auctions, and it's like, oh, that's a new one. That's kind of fishy that it's a new auction house. And
then it's like, oh yes, that was very fishy, actually.
As it turns out, it was extremely fishy to have this brand new auction place selling this extremely expensive copy of Mario 64 and then Super Mario Bros. Yeah, that actually is extremely suspect. Right on the money. It's almost like it's a really obvious scam that any moron with a brain can notice.
This is one of those things that, like, in general, when people are talking about like conspiracy theories and like scams and like big you know, cover-ups and whatnot, it's like, oh, we don't have to.
Oh no.
they can just do this in the open, and all it really takes is for someone to go, hey, if you look at the URL, you can see that it's owned by the same guy, or like, you know, this dude's LinkedIn is publicly available. We can see like which company he's the CEO of.
Yeah. You can Google this man's name, and like what comes up on Google is all of the scams he has done.
Like, this isn't a cover-up. He just didn't like publicly announce that he's a supervillain.
Yeah. You don't actually have to do cover-ups. You just kind of have to remember that like people have extremely short attention spans.
The people that are involved in your circle don't know to look any deeper than they do.
Until some guy on YouTube does look deeper.
Yeah.
And then they crash your whole scam, which owns.
Yes.
So that's cool. It's very...
Your whole scheme falls apart when some guy on YouTube goes, hey, Mario 64 isn't rare. There's a lot of copies of Mario 64 out there.
Yeah, it's not like Action Comics number, because like even like a fucked up copy of Action Comics #1
has value.
Has value. Yeah, exactly. Like even if it's like got coffee stains on it, it's still like a copy of Action Comics #1. I can walk into any thrift store in America and buy like 3 copies of Super Mario 64. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it reminds me, because like this video had a lot of Pat the NES Punk, and they showed clips of his crossover with AVGN where they talked about the Nintendo World Championship cartridge. Mm-hmm. And like the gimmick was they found a copy of Nintendo World Championship in the garage sale box of like just whatever cartridges.
Yeah, exactly.
They were like, oh, look, a bunch of copies of Super Mario Brothers. I was going to make a coffee table out of them.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's not actually that hard to find a pretty good copy of Mario 64.
Right. Like,
it sold a lot. They made a lot of them.
They made a shit ton of them. And like, yeah, maybe not like the box has never been opened, but like you can go on eBay. I mean, now because of all the speculation shit, they're more expensive, but again, because like this is crashing, they'll go back to being reasonable prices. But like before this happened, you could go on eBay and buy like a pretty decent copy of Mario 64 for like a couple $100. Like that's a lot of money, but it's not $2 million, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it somehow feels like slightly more asshole-ish that it's not affecting like actual enthusiasts and like collectors of like cartridges.
Sure. Right. Well, to a degree, it is, because it is driving up the cost of like.
Yeah, like just
like a random, like a clean copy of Mario 64, like not
like in a
box.
In a much smaller scale, yeah, it is, but like they're not causing a scarcity by doing this.
Right. But,
it's just muddling like the opinion of it. And this will eventually just go back to normal because
it's a scam.
Yeah, people are going to realize it.
It's coin collect. It is, like we said.
Yeah.
It's the coin collecting scam all over again, where like it's actually not that scarce. Like most video game, unless it is like the Nintendo World Championship cartridge, like most video games are actually not that scarce. Like the rarest game I own is Suikoden 2, and that's a pretty rare game.
Yeah,
it's a pretty rare game, but like not that rare. I could get a copy off of eBay for like $500, maybe $600. Like that's a lot of money. It's a new PC. It's a new graphics card, anyways. But like it's not $2 million.
Right.
You know, like there are very, very few games in the world that are legitimately that rare, especially with like the digital markets and emulation being a thing, right? Like that kind of keeps things from getting too insane, because like there's always a way to play Again, unless Nintendo does their shit and they take things down. But even then, I mean, it's hard to kill anything on the internet.
Once it exists, it's there forever. Sorry.
Yeah, it's there forever. It doesn't go away.
That's why Wooly says, shut the fuck up. Once it's out, and there's nothing anyone can do anymore.
Right. AM2R. This is a divergence, but like AM2R, the whole reason AM2R, you can still play AM2R is because they shut the fuck up about it until it was out. Like, other fan games are constantly getting shut. Like, if Kotaku emails you about your fan project, ghost them.
Tell them no, just like you did with Square Enix Western Dev. With their Western division, when you told them no, also tell Kotaku no.
If Kotaku climbs out of the ocean,
push it back in.
You also push them back in, okay? You use the same stick that you pushed Square Enix back into the water. You also push Kotaku back into the water, okay? Oh, God.
Their cursed publication, our blessed release date.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, this is all just like it's all a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
It's extremely funny to watch rich assholes suffer, though. So
yes.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like what's going on with like Blizzard and shit, because it is just rich assholes suffering.
Yeah.
Which I love.
You know,
That's always fun.
You know, me sowing. Haha, fuck yeah. Me reaping. Oh, what the fuck? This sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Love watching it. It happens so very rarely these days, but I love to watch a rich guy reap.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's good. It's a great video. Go watch it. Go watch it. So
it's one of those things where you're just like, wow, money isn't real and we can just be evil. Okay.
Yeah, money isn't real. That's the truth. That's the real thing, is that money isn't real and things only have value because people agree that they have value. Like that's it. Stuff costs a lot of money because a bunch of people decided that stuff should cost a lot of money, which sucks. That's why your rent is so high these days.
Yep.
Sorry.
All right,
no, not your rent. My rent.
But everyone's rent is too expensive.
Yeah. The rent is too damn high.
Yep. That was still true, actually.
It's more true now than it's ever been. So, Okay.
We have one more bit of just absolute horseshit bullshit news.
Oh no. What are you going to hit me with?
You can't have sex with Wolverine in Marvel Midnight Suns.
Bullshit! Fuck this! I'm out!
So what is the fucking point then?
What is the fucking point? Who cares then?
Why even make the game?
What? How dare you? Honestly, you've wasted my time, you've wasted Ben's time, you've wasted all these good people at home's time because you can't fuck Wolverine. Like, then what's even the point of living, Ben?
No, like why even bother getting out of bed in the morning?
Who cares?
If you cannot play Midnight Suns and fuck Wolverine.
Who cares? Ben, I don't actually know what Midnight Suns is.
Midnight Suns is that Marvel XCOM game that got announced a little while ago.
Oh, then who cares?
And so the full article is that the idea is that you're going to be able to make your own like leader character and do Persona Social Link types things with the rest of your team. But there will be no romance in this game.
Boo! You don't understand anything about video games.
Yeah.
Get out of the industry. Boo! Imagine a BioWare game without romance. Oh wait, that happened. You know what happened to it? It died.
It disintegrated.
It evaporated. It was fucking Thanos snapped out of existence, okay? Like, that game, no, I don't even know what that game is called anymore. I actually legitimately forgot what the name of that game was.
I don't remember either. Oh my god.
Oh no! Oh no!
But I remember that being a thing, like a BioWare game that doesn't have any romance in it.
It had no dialogue. It was always online. And Ben, why am I forgetting the name of this? Wow, it really did just get obliterated, huh?
Yeah.
They just completely wiped that out of all of our.
But this is cowardice. Like, this is straight up cowardice to be like, no, you don't get to have a character that gets to make out with Captain Marvel or Captain America or Wolverine.
You can't say the words persona-like social links and then be like, nope, you can't fuck any of these fictional characters. What the fuck? What's the fucking point then? Who cares?
So the creative here's a quote from creative director Jake Solomon.
Oh god.
Trust me, if I could romance Blade, I would. Basically, the long story short, everyone in the Marvel universe is just gonna friend zone you.
Anthem! That's it! The name of that BioWare game was Anthem!
Oh, it was Anthem! I was thinking of, I thought it was, one of the Star Wars ones or, something else.
No.
But, yeah, that's right. On top of everything else that got fucked up with Anthem, there was no romance.
I completely forgot the name of the game, Anthem. Oh, God. It was
I forgot that it was Anthem.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah, so that's it. You can't have sex with Wolverine in Midnight Sun, so what's the fucking point?
Bull fucking shit.
I do hope this is like an XCOM game that's easier, because I don't like the idea of Iron Man being 2 feet away from an enemy and just missing.
Whiffing entirely. That's XCOM. That's XCOM, baby.
I know, but I don't think that happens in the Mario vs. Rabbids game. I hope this is a bit more in line with that than just like the idea of Wolverine just slashing at the air in front of a goblin.
Yeah, maybe slightly more lenient because you're playing as superheroes, please.
Yeah, these guys are supposed to be good at their jobs, unlike an XCOM where you're clearly hiring just guys just out of basic.
Yeah, exactly. Just warm bodies to fill positions. Yeah. God. Okay. Well.
So that's
Anthem.
Anthem.
Cannot forget. I completely forgot the name. Anthem. Wow. Yeah, that one really did just get completely obliterated from the public consciousness. Anyways.
So that's all the news we had for this month.
We did it. We came in under 2 hours for once. I'm proud of us.
We did. So, thank you to DJ Cutman for use of our background music. You can follow me on Twitter at The Gorge Podcast. You can follow Sara at Radio Inactivity. And if you want to listen to Sara talk about other things, I know she's got something she's really excited they're getting back to, so she's going to tell you about it right now.
I have another podcast called Big Gay Nerds, where me and a bunch of cool queer friends get together and we play tabletop games. We tried a lot of different systems. It's always a lot of fun. We just wrapped up our Masks block, and it had a really great, explosive, emotional ending. By the time you're hearing this, we are on a slight hiatus as we get ready for the new block, but when we come back, we'll be playing Beam Saber, the mech game that we all are completely fucking obsessed with. It owns. So come check us out. We're at Big Gay Nerds on SoundCloud, and you can find the links to the rest of our social media from there. Thanks.
Alright, that'll do it for us then. What you got this month?
Man, I already got Blizzard out of my system. I already said fuck Blizzard. We did that earlier. I got that out of the way.
Fuck Marvel for being cowards.
Cowardice! Literally.
Let me fuck Wolverine.
So I was about to say, you took my joke. I was going to say fuck Wolverine, but also fuck Wolverine. Am I right?
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.